I'm just going to send my mom to the Apple store.
Good morning, everybody. We are testing to see how the connection is here. So true. If you can see us, let us know.
What channel is it? No, the Facebook Live.
Boost Biz Ed, San Diego.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Can you help them out while I search you?
You have a
Yeah, I have a slide deck, and it's in the cloud, so she was going to have to use her laptop. Otherwise, I've got somebody run to the Apple store. These new MacBooks have Thunderbolt ports.
Oh.
So there's no way to connect it whatsoever unless you have an adapter.
Connect it how?
To connect it to the television.
Okay. Because they have it where you just connect over the Wi-Fi.
Oh, well, then I should be able to do that. Awesome. Let me share the link with everybody.
Or I can pull it up on my computer, and then if you just want to signal to me, I can hit the slides and you can just talk.
Okay. Yeah, whatever's better. Because there isn't really somewhere for me to set my computer. But I can control it from here, though.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can control the slides from the phone. Never done that before, but let's see. Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, I'll try not to get political or...
And while we're here, we want to introduce you to our speaker for next week.
Hi, everyone. I'm looking forward to chatting with you next week.
What's your name?
Rima Abul Hassan.
And what is your talk on?
I am talking about building a positive, strong community, empowered. And we will be going over some very good techniques that you can utilize on a daily basis to bring you up to speed and just be fully present with whatever it is you're doing.
Yay! So just so everybody knows, we're here live every other Wednesday. And I think, can people check in on Facebook?
I think so.
We're going to find out about that. But in the meantime, just sit tight. Okay. Because I think what we can do is put a little chair there, and then people can sit if they want to.
So we're going to be doing a presentation. Are you here for the Boost Biz Ed event?
No, I ran here, so.
Oh, okay. Well, you're welcome to listen in, or yeah. So we'll be talking. I don't know if that will interrupt you or. Okay. Let me know when you're ready for that information.
Okay.
Okay, go. Thanks.
All right. I think this is a little, yeah, that looks great. This is where we're going to be bringing guests and doing little interviews before our amazing speaker, Mr. Catfish, teaches us all about optimization for SEO. And stay tuned.
Oh, really? I actually have to go on probably like a picture of my 5 years ago.
Good. How are you?
Very good.
Where you're
She go.
Hello. How are you? There. Let's see.
Hey, you Patrick? Yeah. CJ. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be cool if you guys can. Yeah, we're gonna do
Yeah, now we're gonna
Okay. How about you? Unfortunately, it's not
I'll try to get settled in real quick first. Awesome. I did bring some, but I might get one. Hi, I'm fabulous. How are you? I'm Jen. Nice to meet you. So we're just
That would be awesome.
here.
I'm gonna try to
Oh.
with my deck.
Okay. Like Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, after 2 hours in the car, I was like, oh yeah. Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Good. Nice to see ya.
Good to see you too.
What time did you have to leave to get here?
Well, I left at 7:15,
Ah,
and I just got here not too long ago.
seriously?
There were like massive accidents.
Yeah, no, I know. I left the house
If I would
a
have left
half hour after you.
yeah, if I would have left at 8 o'clock, I probably would have been here just now too.
At the same exact time. Yeah, but I left the house at like 7:45. So. Temecula.
Let me just bring this over.
Oh, yes. So basically, same issue. Where do you live in Fall River? Oh, okay. My husband grew up in Fall River, so he lives, you know where the Smiles Dental place is off of 76?
Yes.
Okay, up Montserrat, that he lives right there. His parents still live there, so we go down there all the time to visit. It's nice. Yeah, it's quiet. It was a lot quieter. When they moved in, there was nothing there. Like at night, there were no lights. Like barely anybody drove the 76. I mean, that was, 5 years ago. Yeah. No. Oh my gosh. Well, I think there's actual traffic everywhere now. I don't know how you get away from traffic anymore. I was trying to get here today and I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah. I just didn't know what time I was actually going to get out of my house. I work with a company called Actionable. So, have you heard of Actionable? Yeah, 4.5 years. So, we used to own a gym, and it was the nutritional solution we started using like appliance in the gym. And then last December, we were able to close down the gym, and now we just do ice cream. So yeah, this traffic thing makes no sense. No, I don't know how people do this. I really don't. There's no way. That's all I can say. Yeah, I'm unemployable. I'm not going to be told that I have to run in and sit in this traffic before I was saying I do not do it. And you're with leadership? Okay, because I was there at the speaking thing, and you spoke. You did awesome. So, you kind of have to, to get yourself out there. And, and there's a lot of people who do what I do, and there's a lot of people who don't do what you do. And people are going to do business with us because they like us, they trust us, they've seen us speak, they think that we're the authority on what we do. So, it's all about visibility because, there's 600,000 nice business associates. How do you make yourself stand out in the world industry? Yeah, it's all your personality, exactly. And the speaking. So is this the only avenue you're speaking in right now, or do you do like Toastmasters and things like that? Oh, fabulous. Yeah. There it is. Right. Of course. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Yeah, no, absolutely. That's awesome. Yeah. So that's what we do. Yeah. Where are you going? I mean, yes, you still work and you still have a schedule, but you're making yourself, My daughter, she's a senior in high school, and she was playing varsity golf for her 4th season this year. The last couple seasons, we closed down the gym and everything, where we didn't have this flexibility. So this season, I told her I'm going to every single golf match, and I just booked it in, and I was able to put everything else around it. Yeah, to have the ability to spend the time with my kids and create a lifestyle that is what I want. If I want to go to the gym at 9 a.m., then great, that's what I do. Then I find, other ways to work. Yeah, absolutely.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Part of this thing too?
Yes.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Nice
Hi,
to
Brooke.
meet
I'm
you.
Jen.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So we're gonna have our meeting over here?
Yep.
Nice.
And the seats are for ears open, and the seats.
Oh, so the presentation.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now I get the whole sense.
Yeah.
You want to say hi on the live? Go
Uh-huh.
ahead, take a seat, say hi, introduce yourself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, where is that going live?
Facebook.
Consciousburg or just out in Facebook somewhere?
Boost Biz Ed, San Diego Facebook.
Oh, cool.
Hello, this is Brooke from Purposeful Business. I'm excited to be here in a nice space, called Spaces.
This is a neat.
And I love to change work culture so that people are happy at work.
I saw Spaces out of Denver, where Boost Biz Ed started. And we connected with them, and they're like, oh, we're actually opening an application in La Jolla. And we're like, great.
Oh, no, this is gorgeous.
This is really wonderful. And I answered the phone, they said beaches. I said, like beaches, really? But they said it's a whole new concept, and I like this whole new concept more than. I don't know if you've been to other beaches offices.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah, they're
We
more
don't have
closed,
those.
they're 4 rooms, but this is so I love this.
So they've got this airspace with it has the closed rooms and also
Yes.
the openness, and then there's space upstairs as well where the restrooms are. So that's open up there as well.
So it's this floor and then another floor.
So you run this? I do not run. I just I went to the Boost Biz Ed in Denver, and I fell in love with the way they had it set up. And I was like, Drew, the owner of Boost Biz Ed, I was like, hey, so I'm moving to San Diego. What do you think about expanding?
Right. So what is Boost Biz Ed? Because I haven't been here before.
So it's like conscious networking.
Okay.
Bringing somebody who can teach you how to expand your business, and then also the space where you can go network and meet other people and connect. It's awesome.
And how did you get connected with them?
Yeah.
All right.
So,
How about you? Did you know Sarah or did you do this? Like, how did you get to them? Oh, okay. And you too?
No, I know him.
Oh, okay.
He connected me to Sarah.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
All different ways.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
So you live around here or?
I live up in Temecula.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, you do Cape for this working day?
Yes.
Always try, like, coming down should be so bad. Or is it?
Oh, it was.
It really, yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
that's right. After my place in North County, after that 15 is not there.
Yeah, I was coming. I came across 56, which I probably shouldn't have done. That's where my map broke down. Told me it was going to be fastest.
Yeah, 56.
I come 15. Yeah, 56 was dead stop.
Yeah.
The whole way.
where did you get from?
Temecula.
Oh, wow.
So.
I can't pronounce it. Yes, it's automated. It's does like debit card, credit card. Yep. And then depending on which drink, it's like $1, couple
I'll
dollars.
try to use the technology.
Not check.
I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, I have a daughter, and then my husband has a son. So we just got married, but we've been together since we were so they're 17 now. Exactly. So, yeah, they're 5 weeks apart.
I literally had to know
Yeah.
that you were doing this.
Like best friends.
I actually would call it 10. I was here to work with them. Yeah, you know, I.
Yeah, well, it wasn't always that way, but yeah. No, I think they get along better than like real siblings do because there's lines that they won't cross because they're not blood, like they won't knock each other out or yeah, and they've kind of been brother and sister since they were 9, so they were old enough that it was like, with 2 only children suddenly having to share stuff was a little crazy for the first couple of years. Yeah. But no, now they're like best friends. It's like, yeah, I'm shocked at how well they get along. They look forward to seeing each other if one's gone and one comes home. They're like, where'd she go? I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to call her.
It's all working.
Is it not working on your phone?
No, it's all working.
Oh, it is all working.
I'm all good.
Great.
What part of Arizona?
I love Tucson.
I've never been there.
It's a cool town. Yeah.
What's cool with that?
It's very artsy.
Is
Yeah, there's a lot of like art and culture there.
Oh, no.
Which is certainly typical of most of Arizona. So yeah, unless you have like Sonoma or something. And it's not that far from where it is, right? It's like 2.5 hours, 3 hours,
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, I definitely prefer it to Phoenix.
I'm going to Phoenix in December. And in January.
How'd you draw the short straw there?
They're all isogenics events.
Yeah. Is that where they live?
They're in Glendale. So,
Okay.
but the closest thing is they always have all their events in Phoenix. I don't
left
know.
Glendale in like February and March during spring training.
Yeah.
I had a lot of friends that played baseball, so I used to go out to spring training all the time.
Nice.
I had a couple of friends who played in the Royals organization, so I used to sit behind them because he was still involved in the Royals.
Right.
He was like famous from like
Yeah.
pretty cool. He was an interesting guy here, criticizing the game for sure. A different level of interest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Things aren't too pixelated.
Great, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And we will not understand the pixelation as much as you do, so
All right.
I'm sure we're not as technical as you are.
Yeah, I'm pretty discerning when it comes to graphics, but it'll be good.
So you're at the Sarah's event.
Yes. Oh, we're live now?
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Hey.
I remember you because you have such a good voice. And I know, like at one of Sarah's events, I think that was down there on Mission.
Yes, the Thursday night evening.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
I love the way you speak.
Oh.
You speak great.
I am so
This is great. So,
I think we just sit around here, there, yeah. We got the first one. What's the first word?
Oh, me too. I thought I was going to be late.
Yeah.
That was rough.
Yeah.
But it actually got me here faster. Yeah, me either. It got me here faster than it said it was going to, which was crazy. That's never happened.
Yeah, exactly.
When the app says,
right?
yeah. So, and I'm thinking, I don't know how I'm going to make it there in time.
And in the meantime, if you're coming for there's no easier way to get to the
Is it all pretty much like
Yep,
That's where I live.
Right.
Around this time of the day, it's right. It wasn't a short freeway.
Yeah.
The traffic is still the same.
It wasn't too terribly long. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So.
Because when it stops, we say, oh my God.
This is the first time we're doing
But
this
it never sees that.
Yeah, no, I felt like it, but then
Yeah, I
so
know.
when I was out, it was real fast. So
Sure. That's probably
Yep. And then just take one of these, fill it out.
like this here. A lot of sale.
Actually closer to the end.
Yeah.
Everybody does their introductions.
I don't know about that yet.
so do you know where they? So they up here.
Yep. Up here.
Okay. Thank you.
hi, I'm Jen.
I'm Carrie. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you, Carrie. Good.
Hi,
Brooke,
I'm one of the
Carrie.
attendees.
Okay, awesome. What do you guys do? For work?
Oh, I'm sorry. I work at a company called Isogenics. We do nutrition.
Okay, awesome.
You heard of Isogenics?
I did one of the photographer. I'm not a photographer, but one of my good photographer friends is starting to sell this stuff.
Awesome. Yeah.
So, she gave me a couple sample packs.
Listen to you.
After, and I haven't tried it yet. I just now thought about it because she said we did a wedding together.
Right.
It's her wedding, and she's like, take one of these when you get home, and then take one the next morning. It's for hydration, I guess.
Oh, so it's a little
So a little
stick.
stick
Yeah,
tablet,
yeah.
So, and I
Kind of
just
like an
totally forgot
all-natural
about that.
Gatorade.
Yeah, it's like a powder, maybe
Yeah.
stick it with water.
Yeah, it's got a lot of good vitamins.
I still need to get some things for you and hand it to my
Yeah.
fiance and his groomsmen. Here, this is for the day after the bachelor
Oh,
party.
yeah. No, we have a whole
Exactly.
amazing it incorporates that with a couple other things.
Do you sell it to university campus? I just had some graduate from college and they really need it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Because I really see, I can't believe my husband, my son was also president of a snowboarding club. And how big companies find them. They give them so many discounts. They just want them to get this. You from them, I just can't believe. So, of course, you're a great place for them to.
Keep them hydrated.
We're on the healthier end.
Yes, that's right. If they come to cities like that, I mean, companies like yours should come to them and say, okay, this is a better way to handle things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is for the nighttime, this is for the morning.
Yes, exactly. They do such a good job to do that, really. Not that I love that they drink so much, it's just like, I couldn't believe how much Stone especially. Stone was always active downstairs.
Where's your son?
UCSD.
Okay.
He graduated now. We're
I'm
over
surprised
that.
that there's a networking.
Yeah, because they go to Mammoth every weekend. Can you believe they go to Mammoth every weekend? Leaving on Friday and going 6-7 hours, like driving. Anyways, but they do it. So yeah, but you're right. We didn't expect to have it somewhere. I'm excited.
I might have been from Denver to get away from the snow.
Yes,
Like
I know.
for me, because there's
Yes.
risks here.
I know.
I guess if you live there all the time, you want to get away.
Yes.
True.
And now
Yes.
he's like, maybe this week we'll get to surfing, swimming, nothing. And he gashes on his way, which way to the mountains. It's funny how that works.
So
So how you're selling? You're selling?
Oh, yes, yeah.
But I
4.5
want to say that, like,
Okay, cool.
So we used to own a gym in Temecula, and we
Okay.
started using that as the nutrition program, because before that, I'd be like, go to GNC, and
Yeah,
we
exactly.
didn't get paid for that.
Yeah.
So with Isogenics, we were able to incorporate that in, but last December, we were able to close the gym down, and now we just do Isogenics.
Oh, wow. What was the name of the gym?
Cutting edge kettlebells, it was a small boutique gym,
Okay.
all
I need to find somewhere.
kettlebell
I
training.
need to find somewhere that just does kettlebells.
Well, we still have an online program, I just don't charge for it anymore, because I don't have one.
And not being in-house.
We were on Hot Springs in Winchester.
Okay, so a little bit.
Yeah, kind of back toward French Valley
Oh,
Airport.
exactly. Yeah, I used to
Yeah.
live on the park.
Oh, yeah.
So the first things that you come down to go.
Yeah, well, Temecula Parkway, yeah. And now they've opened up Butterfield Stage, and it goes all the way through to us now.
Oh, does it?
To Hot
It looks
Springs.
like- Oh, wow.
It makes that commute so fast from north to south. We used to say, oh my gosh, you live all the way down here, it's like 2 exits.
Exactly.
It's still
Yeah. See how far the truck or out, you took one check and you just keep going.
Oh, it was so bad, but now having that Butterfield
No, that's
interchange
awesome.
back there,
That's awesome.
it's
I didn't
awesome.
know they did that. Yeah, I moved back down here like 7 years ago, so I've been out since then.
Yeah, it's expanded quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, it's grown like crazy. We lived there for 9 years. And those 9 years, it's just like,
Oh, yeah.
it's crazy. All the houses.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that they have room to put any more in.
I know, exactly.
They keep popping up.
Yeah, we keep finding. So the girl I know is Terry Rippey. I don't know how big Isogenics
It's pretty big.
Yeah, so I don't know if you would know.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I think she's just keep going, and I forgot who she said.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sizable company, we're a 15-year-old company, we're gonna do $1 billion in global sales this year, going to $2 billion in the next 3 years. We're just expanding into Ireland and the Netherlands.
Oh, nice.
Like 2 weeks.
Just in Ireland.
So, yeah.
It is. I'm not a scenic traveler. So like after 7 days, I was like,
I'm tired.
I've seen everything. Family vacation. My soon-to-be mother-in-law was like, let's go to every castle and every ruin and all the scenic routes. And
Yeah, I had a couple that actually, Gary Casey's just stayed over there in the castle.
oh wow.
They came back here and we got married, so I shot their wedding there.
Wait, before.
Exactly.
Ireland,
So they had
Sarah's
another
first night that she had.
I just happened to be over there vacation since I had her placement session.
So how many days do you recommend? Or do you have
About 7.
I mean, it depends on what you like. If you like the scenic stuff, like we were there for 14 days, and my mother-in-law was like, "Oh, I gotta stay longer." And I was like, so it depends on what you like. And then time of year, it's really chilly.
Yeah, it's really chilly most of the time.
Yeah,
I don't really know when it gets nice over there. You know, I spent 2 weeks in Scotland probably before I played golf. I'm like, dang. But it was so cold that I don't know that I would have even attempted it golf over there. It was like November and
Oh wow, yeah.
it was so chillingly cold. Everything is big to do to make it chilly. You know, my ex-husband's mom lived there for 20 years. She lived there. And then she moved back when her husband passed. But yeah, so I'd gone over for 2 weeks while I was pregnant and freezing. Yeah. But even my daughter went over Mother's Day a couple of years after that, and it was just as cold in May as it was.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe there's a nice week in July. Exactly.
1 week.
Just 1 week.
1 week this summer. That's it.
Yeah. And I mean, they lived right on the ocean. And I mean, there was no commodity on the property to use it.
Yeah.
You know, all it did was, spray more stuff at
So
you.
I think it's in the right? Was there snow?
No, there wasn't any snow. There was
So
rain.
probably just here.
That's the whole structure there.
That's why everything's just green.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But it's funny because, I got very involved in the last 5 or 6 years. My daughter was in school. So I kind of started playing alongside of her. But, I've watched all the Euro tour stuff over there. I mean, these guys are like, I'm thinking there's nothing that would make me spend good money to go play to death when I could play it. It's 90 degrees. So what you do? What?
Yeah, mainly wedding.
No,
This
you're
year's
great.
been slow, so I've been branching out into professional headshots. Anything with the calendar full of stuff. So,
Right.
But for the last 12 years, I've marketed towards weddings, so that's stayed pretty good with weddings. But this year's just an off year. I don't know if it's, hopefully it might change, but I'm kind of looking for a change anyway. It's all work. So if I only do 10 weddings a year, I'd be happy. I could fill up the calendar with headshots. I've done everything: architectural, interior design, like photos, landscape photos, I've done all kinds of stuff. So, but I love photographing people in general, meeting entrepreneurs, business owners, stuff like that, and getting to know people. Photographing them for their brand, especially an entrepreneur that has a brand, the face of the company, basically. I'm sure you get images for them to show on their website or stuff like that. Exactly. Now, especially with our clients nowadays, everybody's looking. If you go on a website, you're interested in a product, you want to know who owns that product. So then seeing a great photo that builds that connection, I think, right away. So does that person look trustworthy? Stuff like that. So it's just, it's amazing that you just see so many great companies that don't have headshots of their owners or their top management teams or whatever. It's just, it's important, like even the realtors, a lot of them are great. They show a lot of headshots, but a lot of them are just cheap iPhone photos.
My most recent headshot was, I'll be honest.
Yeah, exactly. And I just met these two guys that are just getting their business going. It's a realty group, basically, two guys, but one's also a lawyer too. And they just did iPhone photos. And they know, they admit it's like they're not the best shots, but I'm like, you got it on your minds. You see that. You're going to see that they're just photos are so.
People are so image conscious.
Exactly.
That, I know people. I've been in the fitness industry.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
And I watch people that I'm like, you have a following. She's not freaking photos.
Yeah, exactly.
So it looks like she's the fittest person on the planet. She's got all of her stuff together. And I'm like,
Doesn't make sense.
I joked for a long time because my husband and I own that gym. And, I did all the nutritional part and I trained competitors and stuff like that. But he actually was the trainer.
Oh, okay.
And so, we go places and people are like, wow, you own a kettlebell gym too? Like to my husband, I'm like, sir, I'm the face of the gym.
Yeah.
I play a trainer on Facebook. I look
Exactly.
but that's not what I do.
Yeah.
So images are
And it's
so
funny because they on their business. When I met them, I got their business card, and it's so nice, it's slick. And you go to the website, the photos are great, everything. And then when you get to their headshots, they're like, what happened here? It's like, that's a consistency for your brand, you want to show good photos. So, but they did something right, but they just didn't continue with it. So it's just teaching these people, it's all about, like you said, just thinking, which is everything we think about.
Oh yeah.
But so you're not thinking about a train, think about a train.
Yeah.
So,
My favorite one for that analogy is, if I tell you, I'll think about a purple elephant.
Yeah,
Like, what's the
exactly.
image that's also red?
yeah, exactly. So, but I think I'll probably try to get more into that because I love the marketing and branding side too.
Yeah.
And so just capturing these images from Zorro, just hopefully it helps grow their business.
Right.
So far I've been doing like attorneys, doctors, realtors of course, and stuff like that. I shot later today with another attorney, stuff like that. But I've even done like photography.
Right, you guys, let me get started in 2 minutes.
Grab your different businesses.
Hi, this is Brooke.
Stacy,
Nice to meet
nice
you.
to meet
How are you?
you.
You know Sarah?
Someone on this today.
Oh, it's great. I just wanted to see this place that so I want to
So he was here when it wasn't even yeah, there was a whole area. Now they've opened it. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
I was waiting for break.
What do you do?
So I'm a coach and speaker, and yeah, I mostly work with entrepreneurs, helping them
I love that for sure.
power, share their gifts, and market
So then
themselves.
you just strictly doing the isogenics.
That's all we have to do. We teach people how to build the lifestyle they want.
Sure.
It's not tied to just to fitness. It's not just tied to weight loss.
I have not.
Really creating, again, the ability to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's being able to market kids on Tuesday. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's being able to choose your clients and only photographing who you want because you don't have some sort of visual backup in.
Exactly. So yeah, I might have to talk to you more about that even.
Yeah, I would love to. Like, that's what I do for right now. Very
Go to
passionate
a lot
about.
I do more just
have lunch.
And
Yeah,
So-
of course. And this is like, I love the
So you can do stuff like you said, like you might still love photography.
oh no,
Yeah.
But I think when you come together with people who are just like you, it's not like a
it's basically it's like they use my perspective.
Yeah.
I still want to do what I'm passionate about. I still train people. With bikini, I have a handful of This pays for me and they do whatever I want.
Thing in photography too is like there's so many photographers now. I mean, I hear people say
This is Michael, and he's joining us.
Where but it's so what happens when you have so much competition, you get a lot of these
Me too. Me too.
So it makes it tough for us. But if I have something where it's like I have something back so for the weddings I do want to do, I can charge my premium price. If I don't get booked, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
It's great. Yeah,
It's just bringing.
that's what I'm thinking too. And I'm getting up in age, it's like I could either have it either way, where they hire me because I'm with experience and experience, or they want the hipper, younger photographer. So it's like I can then hire other younger photographers to shoot under my name too, and stuff like that. So maybe they can take what I charge now on a price level, and I can raise my price up.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. To be like down. A lot of other
I would say that's right.
I feel like everything needs to be
Yes,
because it's really in a way business was once done really for finished shifting and people
Yeah, exactly. Cool, awesome. I'm glad we met you.
I don't know if I have my.
Yeah.
I think I just had to.
Just the website, yeah. Right here.
Just simple.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Nice to meet you. I don't know. Are you guys?
Okay, nice to meet you.
When I was a kid, I did I think when I was a kid, I actually got to know if I killed all the
Even any of it. It's just one
Stacy, Tracy.
Yeah.
Carrie.
Someone had to watch it.
I was like, what? No, okay.
No, I'm CA. I always say like Carrie Curran, but they're looking at the mic.
I always knew there was something special about you.
Yeah, we need to get Carrie Curran.
All right, are we ready? I know. I feel like
You got your clipboard?
Well, I just want to welcome everybody to the first Boost Biz Ed event in San Diego. I am so excited. Of course, we pulled it together really quickly, and we're here at the gorgeous Spaces in La Jolla. How cool is this place? Oh, I'm so excited. So my name is Sarah Ann Dordell. I am your MC for today, your matriarch of ceremony, if you will. So everybody behave or you'll get a timeout. Yeah. And the first person I would like to introduce is Mr. CJ Siniscali. He runs the show here at Spaces and has been so gracious to have us. So come on up and tell us a little bit.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, and I'm glad I could have you guys, right? We Spaces just opened last Monday. So it's all about putting it together really fast, right? And we don't actually officially open until November 1st, right? So congratulations on the success of getting everyone over here quickly and setting it all up. I can't wait to see what Hatchtag has in store for you guys. What Spaces is, since everyone keeps looking around, right? It's just a big, open, collaborative environment. So entrepreneurs or anyone who runs their own show, come on in, sit down and work for a little bit, collaborate, meet, host events like this, and then kind of check out whenever you need to. It's 24/7 access, which is great. So you can come and go as you please. See, exactly. Hopefully you don't have to burn the midnight oil. But if you do have to, it's open and available for you, right? So we're excited to partner with Sarah Ann and any other events that you guys want to come up with and start spinning your brains on. To actually have a space, present something nice, have a great spot for people to come in and like sit down and work for a little bit. Anything I can do for you guys, just let me know. There's some freebies up there as well. I think we're gonna do some memberships for you guys if you need, or like a trial day pass or something like that too. But any questions I can help answer, just feel free to stop over and grab me or Erica or Gabby, who help run the center of this. So
What's your first name?
CJ.
CJ.
Yeah.
Did your last name again?
It should be Smith. It's Siniscali.
Okay.
I know, right?
Yeah. It's Italian. That's
Italian,
the
I was
first
gonna
name.
Italian, yeah, as far up as I could possibly be in Italy, right? There's one leg in the Alps, I think.
Yeah, because there's a lot of Italian families in this. The name sounds familiar, and I'm wondering if I had shot maybe one of your relatives.
We got to connect. We probably all know each other, yeah. But thank you again, guys. If you need anything, just let me know.
Awesome.
Thank you. And this space is really cool. I have to say, the other day, I did a Zoom and some phone calls. They have these really cool booths that are totally soundproof. This place is huge, and there's so many little hidden gems. So I encourage you to check every place out in here, but just don't get lost. Don't lock yourself in somewhere. Okay, the second person I want to give a shout out today is actually on Facebook Live, Mr. Drew. He is the founder of Boost Biz Ed, which has been around since 2017. And, just has a really, really great vision that I'm going to get into really quickly. But Boost Biz Ed is very technologically advanced for an event. So right now, everybody, I want you to go to boostbized.com /I am here and check in. I think you Facebook people can do that too. I'm not quite sure.
The URL again?
boostbized.com// right? I am here. I didn't test it out, so let's give it a shot. And we can get on the Wi-Fi here.
It's a sign-in page, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the members one. And it's the username is members@spacesworks.com.
I know, right? boostbized.com.
So this is right, it gets you to a sign-in page? Is that
Yep.
right? Okay. For sure.
And then look at all the fun things that you can do via social media. So Boost Biz Ed is in other cities, which is really, really exciting. So we get to connect to a larger audience. This isn't just a live in-person event. This is also broadcast on Facebook Live, and then afterwards it's archived on various media channels. So our speakers and our audience get a much bigger reach than just San Diego here. I was so excited when Mr. Drew contacted me because this is the type of event that I had been wanting to create for a long time. I always say, let's do fewer events, but better events. And let's bring in speakers to a really structured event so that they can really benefit. I actually train people on how to utilize events to grow their business. And I gotta say, even the pros don't really know how to do it. So why not save everybody that trouble and just bring them into an event that's already really, really good? So that's what Boost Biz Ed is about. Another thing that it is about, and it's so in alignment with conscious business, is that we don't believe in veiled sales pitches. We believe in trust. And of course, everybody here has something to sell, and you'll hear the offers from all the allies here today. But there's no pressure. We really believe that in order to provide value to one another, we have to build trust first. So conscious business. The other thing that I was excited about is that I really believe in small actions, but actions right now. I'm a little bit tired of all these events where it's kind of like big, grand ideas that we just talk about. I believe, just like Boost Biz Ed, that we need to lift entrepreneurs and small businesses through immediate and smart actions and great education. That is Boost Biz Ed education. So we're going to be here every other Wednesday from 9:30 to 11. So this can just become part of your thing. There's always coffee here and lots of smiles. So I hope that you just make this part of your regular life schedule. And next time, that's on November 8th, right? This is our fabulous new speaker, Rima Abul Hassan. I'm finally getting it right. And so then our next speaker will be 2 weeks after that, which I'll tell you in a second. But it's 2 weeks after. And right now, Boost Biz Ed is in, I have locations here, which I'll tell you, but 2 locations in Denver, 2 locations in Oregon. Of course, now we're in San Diego, and hopefully we'll be in much more locations soon. All right. Okay. So now what we're going to do is introductions, and this is when the Mama Bear MC is going to make sure that you do everything right. So let me just find the directions for that here. You're going to get 20 seconds to introduce yourself and state the value that you bring and what you would like to learn. And Drew came up with this really great idea that really sets the tone for the rules. You get 1 breath. So inhale, say what you want, and then if you breathe again and keep going, you will get a timeout. Just kidding. You might though. Would you like to start? Why don't you come on up so everybody can see you?
So can you repeat that? Who I am and
What value you bring? And you? Yeah, why you're here.
okay. This is Brooke Errol. I'm a coach and a consultant. All I do is about making people happier at work in my coaching and in my consultancy, creating good work culture so that people are happy every day to come to work instead of suffering like they do today. So the value I bring is, I never thought about that, but hopefully to exchange some ideas with you over time, today and other days, of how we can support each other in doing a conscious business together and conscious entrepreneurs. And I always follow Sarah, so that's why I'm here. I know she's always doing amazing stuff, so happy to meet you all here today. Thank you. Am I below 20 seconds? I'm sure I did it more than once. Yeah.
All right, Rima, go ahead. Let's keep it fast and we'll keep moving. Get ready for next.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Rima Abul Hassan. I am a speaker and a very proud Legal Shield associate. And I bring value to the community by building positive, empowered communities. That's what I bring to everyone. Thank you.
Great.
We can have everybody speak up so that everybody on Facebook Live and everybody in the back.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jen Tokenyuk. I'm co-creator of Team 11. We teach people how to turn their lives up to 11 by creating the lifestyle that they have always wanted. We've partnered with Isogenics, which allows us to have the vehicle to teach people how to do what they want to do. So that's it. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cornelius Simon, Jolla Consulting and Coaching. I'm a speaker, trainer, coach. I blend professional development training with mindfulness teaching to help individuals create a clear path to success so they can maximize achievement and reach their full potential. Value I bring, relatability, relevancy, and just down to earth. You know, what you see is what you get, and I think that's a very unique attribute of what I do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm Kerry Pennington. I'm on a photography studio, basically. Not good at talking in front of people a lot, so I feel a little nervous, but bear with me. But basically, I help capture, majority of the times with weddings, so I help capture images for people that they can relive their special moments through photography and stuff like that. But I enjoy working with people, just helping them create a brand for themselves or just to make them feel better. You know, I've had people hire me for, you know, maybe they've went through a lot of things in life and they just want photos of themselves just to feel good about themselves. So I think that's a good value I bring to them. Just make them feel good and everything. But based in Solana Beach, that's what I love to do. Thank you.
I can't help it.
Hello. Hello. My name is Stacey Ellen, a speaker, author, coach, and mostly work with entrepreneurs, business owners that have probably done a lot of the work and gone to conferences and read the books, but they're still not seeing the success they desire. So I truly help them step into their power, share their gifts, and market and sell from a place that really feels good and that they're connected to. Thank you. And good morning, everybody. Thank you, Sarah Ann and Patrick. Look forward to hearing you today. My name is Tracy Hassey. I'm a LinkedIn and networking super connector. I teach you the art of lucrative networking in person and taking it online to amplify your reach. And what I'm offering everybody is a complimentary consult with me, and on the back, a nugget so you can crack your personality code and increase those connections. And I've got the secrets, the science, and the system to supercharge your connections, but also to supercharge your sales. So thank you. Cheers.
Hi, my name is Jean Curran. I'm here primarily as an observer to see what you're all about. I live in Las Vegas, and I'm currently involved in a couple of nonprofits. The one I'm most excited about is called Notes with Purpose, and it puts music into underserved venues. And I'll either be a participant or a supporter. I also have to be the mom of the supporter.
Hi, everybody. My name is Brittany. I am your coordinator for Boost Biz Ed. I am also your ally for personal finance. what I can offer people is a complimentary financial plan that kind of shows you where you're at right now and gives you an idea of if you should stay on the path that you're on or if there's anything that we can tweak to help you win in financial game. So again, my name is Brittany, and I'm so excited for this event and to see where Boost Biz Ed goes.
All right, you all met me, Sarah Ann Darnell, founder of the Conscious Business Chamber of Commerce. And as you can hear, we're using this word ally, which I think is genius. Our speakers are the allies, the MC is an ally, the coordinator is an ally, the venue is an ally, and I'm also looking for a social media ally and a media ally to help us run the Facebook Live and all the video marketing. The great thing about being an ally is that you get incredible visibility and people know you to be somebody that's dedicated to your work, into trust and into conscious collaborations. So everybody benefits. If you're interested in being one of those allies, I will love you forever. Just let me know. All right. Now, of course, we are really about action here in order to grow our businesses. Did everybody get one of our worksheets?
Don't have them, there's extras on the table.
Should be some extras right here. And everybody's got their pens, their trapper keepers. All right. Remember those days. All right, so let's get started with the presentation. And we're going to be taking some reflections and action items at the end. If you're watching on Facebook Live, you are welcome to participate by typing some things in the comments. And of course, please like Boost Biz Ed in San Diego. Thank you. All right, so Patrick Curran is a devoted father of four, committed to raising good humans. That's all I need to say.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yes.
He is also an art teacher, a search engine optimizer, a marketing strategist, a heavy thinker, and an armchair philosopher. Catfish, as he has been known to his friends and family since playing Little League Baseball, rapped in a touring hip-hop group for much of the 2000s and created dope beats for underground phenoms Closed Heart, Surgery, Chris Walken, and Exhibit. Patrick went to Wesleyan University in Connecticut and is a firm believer in liberty, kindness, the scientific method, and the search for the heart of everything that is. When not developing digital marketing and SEO campaigns for both on and offline businesses at his agency, Hatchtag, Inc., he spends much of his time hiking, singing, and dancing with this small army of 4 world changers in Marietta, California. With rousing applause, please help me welcome Patrick #Curran of Hatchtag.
All right, how is everybody?
Good.
Well, I'm going to project because I know how bad the mics are from this distance on Facebook Live. In true millennial fashion, I am going to be on my cell phone during the presentation. I'm going to be controlling my slides, my slide deck mostly. But if a great meme comes across my news feed, I may share and repost it. So just so you know. I hate PowerPoints. I hated them in college. I hated them in high school, and that was really ugly because that was like in 1998. So those were some bad PowerPoints. But in the interest of being technical enough for you guys to get value, I'm going to have some slides on the screen in the beginning where I talk about how I became an SEO expert, and that would be the time to furiously copy away if you think those bullet points are going to help you. That way, you're not focused on copying on your paper when I am actually talking about how it works. So, let me switch apps here, and when I get the green light, we'll go to the first slide. All right, so this is optimizing for search engines and life. I became an SEO expert because I worked at a pretty large web development company that did a lot of outsourcing overseas and claimed to do SEO. From what little I knew of it at the time, I said, it doesn't really seem like you're handling everything you're supposed to be handling. And the general answer I got was, that's okay. Nobody knows the difference anyway. A little disconcerting. So that was sort of the start of my journey down the rabbit hole, if you will, into what SEO is, what it isn't, and how it works. From that point, it was an enjoyable job. I wrote a lot of copy and had a lot of fun kind of learning phone sales. I guess was the bulk of how I spent my day, was cold calling and selling websites to small business. It just came time to move on to other things. How I ended up starting Hatchtag was that I didn't like what they were offering me as far as a promotion, and I decided I would look for a regular job. And about a week into that, the director of programming from that company contacted me and said, "Hey, remember like your first week here when you said we could probably do this better on our own? How would you like to do that?" And I said, "Awesome, let's do it." So we got started. Now, the best place to hide a dead body is on page 2 of Google search. You've probably heard that before, but it is absolutely true. Because of my line of work, I often go to page 7, 10, 15, particularly when I'm looking at a client who is a politician or something like that, where it's difficult to rank because those results are still relevant. But if you're not on page 1 for your like 3 main keyword searches, you're dead. You're absolutely dead. So what gets measured gets improved. This was said by an SEO and marketing strategist called Jeff Eisenberg, and I have found that to be absolutely true. The first step is identifying the keywords and understanding what your actual service area is. Once you know that, you can start to track those things and see where you're ranking and how you're stacking up against your competition. And then just general, like, do I come up on page 1 when I search XYZ in Temecula or whatever? It's really important if you're doing your own SEO to install Google Analytics, and they max out at 100 keywords to track. Really, your business is going to come from your top 3. More on that in a bit. So, content. Content is king, as they say. Currently, with the Google search algorithm, better content is actually mattering. They're able to now determine the quality of your content, both from a copywriting standpoint, a conciseness standpoint. Are you just stuffing a bunch of keywords in there to get ranked? They're able to scan for all of those things now. Let me say, here's how people think SEO works in general. I'll do it with a joke, all right? So an SEO copywriter walks into a bar, San Diego, pub, San Diego, public house, San Diego, grill, San Diego. That isn't actually how SEO works. I mean, it does to an extent. But if you are constantly pushing your keywords into your content, you get to a point of diminishing returns, and then eventually to the point where you're actually penalized by Google. And Google is ruthless about this. They quite famously penalized I believe it was their Japanese team for keyword stuffing to get the Japanese Google higher in search results. So they penalized them for like a year in downranking their own company. So they do take it seriously. You have to be cautious about how many keywords you include in your copy. All right, so this is me. I say, yes, always have content. It can be videos, it can be blogs. Blogs are super important, the content on your website, but this is the key. Now you need to make it good. It just can't be a vomit of keywords and phrases that don't make sense. You actually need to think about what you're saying and have a value proposition. So somebody's going to actually get something out of reading this page on your website. Right. All right. For all practical purposes, SEO has 3 pillars and 7 steps. I totally made that up. I'll try not to swear. I have a mouth like a sailor. But I totally made that nonsense up. But it is very applicable because in truth, if we were counting pillars, maybe there's a dozen, maybe there's 2 dozen. there's a lot of concerns with SEO. It is literally everything that gets you ranked. But if you want to get ranked fast, these are the 3 areas that you need to focus on. This would be the point where you can copy down all of these things if you like. What I found was that SEO is a details game. And many companies do not take care of the tiny details. The last line on this list, image tags. In Google, when you do an image search and you search for Spaces San Diego, hopefully photographs of this venue are going to come up if they are tagged properly. Now that in and of itself is not going to help you rank on page 1. But in aggregate, with all of these other things, it does help you get there. So it's not chicken or the egg, but it's, you're getting ready to go out. It's like if you forget your mascara and eyeliner, you're not ready. You might be able to go to the event and have a great time and whatever, but you're not on point. So you have to take care of every single one of these things. Am I okay to scroll to the next slide? Awesome. So that covers your on-site. The last slide covers your on-site keywords and such. So that goes for anything that's on your homepage, any of the internal pages, image tags. One of the most important things that people overlook, still talking about the last slide, is like meta descriptions. So that's when you enter in a search term on Google, and then that list of 10 comes up after the ads. A lot of people don't realize that Google automatically pulls your copy from your site and then will place an ellipsis at the end. If you want to rank better, you actually handwrite that description instead of allowing Google to pull your content. You put your top 3 keywords in there if it makes sense. And you make sure that it ends before the viewable limit expires. Same thing with your titles. Go ahead.
What do you mean by long tail keywords?
Great question. So a long tail keyword would be like, where to go out tonight in San Diego, California. So it's a long search term. It's conversational. It's the way that many people search. No matter what age group I've found, a lot of people search in this way. I personally don't. I put a vomit of tags that I want to find because it works faster. But it provides a great ranking strategy. So finding out what types of searches, like co-working spaces near me, because that's a very popular search term, near me, right? So finding out ways to work that into your copy in a conversational way. Mind you, on a near me search, Google is pulling your IP. They're pulling your IP address. So they know where you are, presuming that you allow them to do it. They don't ask anymore, I've noticed, but you can disable it should you wish. If you can do the bonus step of actually working that into your copy somehow, I haven't successfully done it yet personally, but you will also rank on the near me search. So that's really big. And any other kind of long tail phrase, like who is the best candidate in the Republican Party for blah, blah, blah in California? No one, but never mind, I won't get political. Go ahead.
So me, like a typical keyword is San Diego wedding photographer.
Right.
But if I shoot at all these different venues like Estancia or stuff like that, if I'm putting Estancia wedding photos or wedding photographer, is that kind of considered a long tail in a way?
Yeah, and it's more specific.
Yeah.
Location. So I mean, your main keyword is going to be wedding photographer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Then more specific includes the location.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then another way for you to rank would be to include venues that you shoot at in your tags. Yeah, specific venues that you shoot at or have shot at in the past. The image tagging is going to be super important for you.
Yeah, tag within the image.
Yeah.
Like, say like Lightroom or Photoshop.
Mm-hmm. I would tag every single image with the keyword you want to rank on, and then I would do a hyphen, and I would include your name or your business name, depending on whether you'd rather rank on your own personal name or your business name.
What about, like, because again, with so many images I have like a bride or I have a broom, or I have a bride and groom, or I have flowers, would I put those particular, like if it's an image of a bouquet, would I put wedding bouquet and create these photography, or just say San Diego wedding photography?
I would not include something like wedding bouquet in that search.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's just not relevant enough.
Okay.
The basic search terms. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I mean, I would be interested to see if, presuming that your subject signed a release, that you get to advertise their name on your website.
Yeah.
I would be interested to see what adding their name to those image tags would do for you from a business standpoint.
Yeah, actual client image, right? Yeah, I
It'd
usually
be
don't
interesting.
add it. Yeah, I usually don't add it, but on occasion I might. But and I mean, they sign a contract, so it's a policy.
Yeah. So a lot of what I do is a little bit of witchcraft. I mean, there is a very standard way to do SEO, but what makes it work is when you can find an SEO professional who thinks about things in these ways.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would help your business or not. Like I said, I'm curious, and I would run a 90-day test on it and see if it helped. And then if there was no measurable increase, I would get rid of it and I would try something else. SEO is an ongoing thing. It's not and the algorithm is always changing, and how you get ranked is always changing. So it's not something like set it and forget it, right? Which is why I have the blog as the second pillar. Writing a blog can be very time consuming. You can find people to write it for you. And the key though is having those tags in those keyword tags in your blog. And again, going back to like the pages on your website, you have the opportunity to write a meta description, to write an SEO title, to name your URL. So it's weddingphotography.com/gallery/ and then you can put in some keywords in that actual page or that blog post or whatever it is, right? But for a blog to be effective, the absolute bare minimum is like one blog post per week. Yeah, if you can't do one blog post per week, either hire someone to do it or don't even bother. You're wasting your time. Unless your content is just so great and shareable that you know people are going to share it on social media and you're going to get readership that way. From a search engine standpoint, it's completely worthless to be at less than one blog post per week. If you're Guy Kawasaki, for example, you don't have to care about frequency. Every time he drops a blog, which seems like it's about every 2 or 3 months, has millions of readers and shares and everything like that. But you have to start somewhere to get to that point. And the more niche that you are with your blog in your industry, the easier it probably is to get to that point of being seen as an expert, as a credible author on the topic. I should say that the other strategy, you don't have to be a superstar at this. The other strategy is just to have a blog up with your keywords in it. That is incredibly effective. Now, nobody's going to say this is the best thing I've ever read, but it doesn't really matter if it got onto your site and 1 out of every 10 or 1 out of every 100 gets a conversion, right? So that is another way to do it. Any questions about any of those items, what they mean?
Links, internal, external?
Sure. In your blog post, you should have, at a minimum, one link to an internal page on your website.
Oh, internal page on the website.
And you should have one external link. In a perfect world scenario, it would be to one of your other websites, to an article or a page on that. If you're talking about something very specific, maybe a well-sourced Huffington Post article or something like that, from a UX standpoint, a user experience standpoint, and then just sales conversions, I try to keep people on my website. I don't want them clicking a link and going somewhere else. So it's really important that those links, particularly the external ones, are no follow, open in a new tab so that they're not navigating off your site.
Well, what about like a LinkedIn? If somebody has a really robust LinkedIn and they're still working on their website, so I send it back to their LinkedIn article.
Yeah, that's actually really great. LinkedIn has a significant domain authority. So articles on LinkedIn do rank okay. If you had to choose where you were going to start blogging, if it was not on your website, I would suggest Medium, hands down. It's the most widely used blog platform out there. Medium. Yeah, if you were making a choice between trying to decide how to get the most visitors to your website, and you weren't going to blog on your site, Medium is hands down the choice. If you are in an industry that requires sales to C-level individuals, then you take the hit on search engine exposure and you go to LinkedIn. Here.
So it's at medium.com?
Mm-hmm. That's correct. I'm sorry?
Medium that took down LinkedIn.
Yes, unless your sale is really specific. So I have 2 web design businesses myself. One is geared towards small business and the other is geared towards medium and enterprise level business. I don't do anything anymore for small business on LinkedIn. It's a waste of my time. And all I do is direct outreach to decision makers for that business. And then for small business, I'm all over social media, not as much as I should be anymore. But social media and blogging and that kind of stuff on my site. A press release. Many people have an idea of what a press release is. I wasn't even planning on talking about all these things, but this is really good. So a press release, many people think that, you write about your event or whatever's coming up or your launch of your business, and you try to call up somebody at the, Desert News or whatever and say, hey man, I've got this press release. It doesn't really work that way anymore. It can, but it's not going to help you, aside from maybe getting something in the newspaper. Beyond that, syndicated press releases online are incredibly effective. Now, I'm going to speak to it from a search engine ranking standpoint. You, again, like a blog article, need to have your keywords and your long tail keywords. You need to have it linking back to your website, or if you want people going to your social media, if you have a sales page there or whatever, you can link back to that. But press releases are pretty finite in the amount of keywords, links, and things like that you can include before it just won't get picked up. It'll be read as spam. So even a great copywriter who writes press releases or whatever probably doesn't understand how the SEO side of this works. So it's kind of a different proposition. So, any questions about press releases? Any of the items?
Do you have a platform that you think about to do the press release, like the outlet or anything?
Well, when we do them for clients, we seed them out to LexisNexis, AP Newswire, pretty much every syndication source out there. When we do them through our business, we guarantee that it'll get picked up by over 300 high domain authority news sites. And on top of that, and we do have different levels of press release that we do, but the one that I always recommend includes a feature of commenting. So we actually go onto other news sites and put a comment on their article that links back to your press release, not to your website. If you do it to your website, it'll just get flagged as spam. But if you link back to the press release, it's now newsworthy. And this isn't that difficult to do. News outlets want content. They're starving for it. They're begging for it to remain relevant so that they can keep coming up high in search results. Timestamp, I'll say that is relevant. You want to have a press release be for an event like a week, preferably 2 to 3 weeks out, whatever the event is or the launch is or whatever it is. You want to have some time leading up to it because that will drive clicks to it more. People go, oh, this is happening soon, So you want to make sure that it's time stamped. I don't even know why I put that there, but I made it for Instagram a couple years ago, and I thought it was really great. And I kept searching, trying to find. This is just a story about searching. So I said that off the cuff to a coffee table full of people one morning, and he said, "Oh, that's good. Where'd you hear that?" And I said, "I don't know." And so I said, "Let's find out." And then so I started Google searching, and I can tell you that is my quote.
That's it.
That is mine. I'm sure other people have maybe said similar things, but as far as Google search is concerned, I'm the only one that's ever said exactly those words. So you can find out just exactly where something's been attributed to, where it's coming from, whether it's plagiarized, when we're talking content, that's really important. How about another good joke? Why did the SEO dad freak out when his wife had twins? Duplicate content. Yeah. So you can't like do a blog on LinkedIn and then share that same blog on your website and share that same blog on Medium. You can't do that and have all of them rank. Only one of them will rank. The rest of them will not rank. Same goes for copy on your website. If you lift it from photography company XYZ, I think it's really great copy. That's awesome, but you better spin it to a point of uniqueness. I shoot for 75% officially at our company. And you can use an app like Grammarly. It's a great one to scan for that. I definitely recommend their pro version, and they certainly don't give you any kickbacks for that, but it's the best of its kind that I've seen. And you want to make sure that you're at a bare minimum getting to 33% unique content. And that can be as simple as changing the adjectives or swapping out a paragraph. Now, a thing about spiders is that when they crawl your content, they will start pinging you for plagiarism based off of the first sentences and paragraphs that are there. So if you're going to spin your copy and have other stuff be duplicate, make sure it's on the front end so that you don't get pinged for plagiarism in the first sentence.
And what percentage did you say you should from website to other?
So it's not an official number, and there's a lot of different numbers thrown around about Google, but 33%, a third. Yeah. I don't know exactly, and they keep this pretty close to the chest as far as like how many words of copy are required for a page to rank. Everybody used to say 500. I've ranked pages with 100, so it can be done. I think now that the search algorithm is skewing for quality. That's me. That's my contact info. My cards are everywhere. Yes, my aura is purple. Just having fun with Photoshop. So, it's not what I do, so please don't judge my company's design skills based off my slide deck. That is not my specialty. So just something to think about. When you're doing SEO, you have to be aggressive with your keywords that you select, and you have to think about how, a little old lady down the street is going to find your business. And you need to aggressively target those keywords basically on all pages. Officially speaking, it is difficult to rank 2 pages on the same top keyword, but it can be done. It just is challenging. So you want to have 1 main keyword per page, basically, and then 2 secondary keywords. So that's how you go find that. We've kind of covered all these what is SEO things, so I won't really go into it, but it is just the amalgamation of making sure every little detail as far as your copy, your content, as far as blogging and social media and stuff like that, make sure that all of those tags are congruent and resonate with each other. This is the adjective I'm looking for, but you want to be consistent. There it is. You want to be consistent across your copy on all channels. I had this whole thing. I love image-heavy slideshows. So if you don't know what SEO is, you were living in a box. You shouldn't be doing that anymore because your business can't survive in a box. So does anybody have any questions about anything specific for their site? Or would anybody like me to try to pull up their homepage? Does anybody have the cojones for that?
I have the cojones for it.
Yeah?
For it, yes.
What is it?
It's CorneliusSimon.com.
All right, let's do it.
No free press.
Let's do it.
Just go easy on me.
All right, I will. Here, we're going to do it this way.
I don't walk out my head now.
And what?
So if it feels ruthless, I promise you that it is not meant in a mean-spirited way. It is to compel you to take action. So Cornelius.
R-U-S.
S-I-M-O-N.
S-I-M-O-N.
.com. So another and part of it is because so many people are using this connection why it took a while to load. But something to consider with SEO that a lot of people don't consider is your page load time. If your page takes longer than 3 seconds to load, you're done. For the most part, I mean, you lose something like 40+% of visitors if your page takes longer than 3 seconds to load. Some things that you can do to mitigate this is stop having so many assets loading. Kill your slideshow. Nobody watches your slideshow, I promise. Even if it's great, they don't. So kill that. Get a great static image with one value proposition in that hero image in that header. This pop-up that came up, kill that. As of January 1, Google started down ranking for these. Yeah. Now,
There goes my lead, man.
so it's not to say that you can't use one. You just shouldn't have it auto load right at the beginning. You should have it on a timer, 90 seconds, maybe even 3 minutes. That's a long time because most people won't stay on your site that long. But the side note about that is for the people that are on your site for that long, that is the perfect opportunity to aggressively go after them. So if it takes that long for that pop over to or pop up or whatever to load, you're not going to get downranked for it either. So
I see.
an SSL certificate. Actually, let's see if you have one. Can you sell on your website? Do you actually have any e-commerce? Okay, well, let's just see. Okay, so no, you don't have an SSL certificate. They're not expensive anymore. I think every site, whether you're e-commerce or not, should be on an SSL protocol. I'll be honest, I do know what it stands for, but I couldn't really explain to you how it works. But it's basically a dual layer of encryption that gives confidence for secure checkouts and payments and things like that. But Google gives preference to SSL sites.
So even if you're on e-commerce, you can
Correct. And it also makes your page load a little bit faster. So let's take a look here. All right. I love this image here that it stopped on the slideshow. That's great. Life without limits. Okay, so what happens if I go on your call to action? Do I get a bunch of content?
Yes.
Oh, maybe I have to hit the button.
No, it's slow. Trying to figure out what caching on this is killing me.
Yeah. So I
All
mean,
the Bluehost, WordPress, what?
yeah, it's definitely an image caching issue is the biggest thing on the site. I wish my partner were here. This is his area of expertise. He's devised a way to get WordPress websites to load in under a second. So pretty excited about that because we do work almost exclusively in WordPress for small business. It just cuts costs so much rather than coding from the ground up. Okay, so I think it's just too much to read is what it is for me. I mean, this is a sales thing. This is not an SEO thing. If I'm looking at your SEO, all of these key phrases that you have, like life without limits, better future, like these are probably some of your key phrases. I don't know what you've actually tagged for your site, but there are super high competition terms. You need to find terms that are lower competition and still have high search volume. Let's go back to your homepage here though. And then, so as soon as I click on that, I don't actually really get anything. I just have a little sales page. If I scroll down, what can I get? I can get some videos. That's cool. Finally, we got Book Cornelius now.
He said finally.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I'm not a salesman. I try to hit him with this.
So there's nothing wrong with having multiple calls to action. And that way, if somebody's already made a decision, they might have seen your hero image and go, that guy, that's who I need in my life. And they're ready to go. If you make them scroll through a bunch of stuff, you risk losing. So there's a popover again.
There it goes again.
You definitely have enough content on your homepage to rank.
So that's good. But you are just talking very generally about what it is that you do, and you haven't dialed in your keywords for how people are going to find you. I mean, and it can just be life coach or something like that. You're just not going to get it. You know, there is a strategy to get there, but it is a long play strategy. Yeah. So with this is a good like.
Can you scroll back down a little bit?
Sure.
Down or up, whatever. So you see so I can delay my pop-up. You just use my call to action there to drive them to want to download the lead magnet.
Sure. Yeah, and that's fine. I would delay the popover. They're gonna either click on this or they're not. I would have a stronger call to action. If this is how you get people sign up for your services, is downloading this PDF or whatever, then you need to have that come sooner. And it should be right here. Okay. That's what that button should do. It should take them to whatever page that it is that they enter their information. Are you using it as a capture too? Like,
That's the main reason.
Yeah, and then you get them into a drip campaign. Great. Yeah. So you want to echo all of your keywords in your sales letters too. It's not going to help your SEO, but it's great for processing. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, those are my basic things. I think you probably benefit from less items in your menu too, considering what you do in your menu bar. Speaking, coaching, training, testimonials. Yeah, I'd have like maybe 3. So how am I doing on time, Sarah?
Thank you.
5 minutes. You're welcome. Yeah, we can talk more afterward. Does anybody have any specific questions? Yeah.
I was curious what app you use to use your mobile, just to do the presentation on the mobile.
You know, it's just through Apple. It's through Keynote. Yeah, you just download Keynote, and it's an option that you can check inside the preferences of Keynote on your computer, and then just control it from your phone. Yeah, I didn't know until today. Thank you, Google.
Are you serious? That's great.
So I do a lot. I'm more of a video person than to sit down and write content out. You know, I can take my videos, transcribe them, and have beautiful content. Is there another strategy I can use to cut down my time, but still get the ranking from the videos that I'm creating? Is there something? Okay, here's something you can try.
As far as ranking your videos?
Ranking my site through my video blogs and content.
So it'll help. I mean, you need to make sure that your YouTube channel has your site tagged throughout it. And then you also need to tag your videos. I would go location specific. I mean, I'm sure you do, business worldwide, but being able to do Skype and things like that. But I mean, why not leverage local search results? Because Google does skew towards local businesses. And how much easier is it to get like great video testimonials from somebody who lives here? You can be somewhere awesome with them. You can be at the pier and shoot a video testimonial with them. So, I mean, target that audience locally. You're still going to be able to go after business outside of this sphere, but I would definitely leverage local search results. To kind of wrap things up, like I said, we do a couple of different things. We do websites for small business. We do websites for medium and enterprise level business. We also build apps for phone, web applications, all platforms. And I recently launched a standalone SEO service. So I no longer have to build your website to SEO it. Typically, that's all we would do. We only SEO our own sites. So we offer that as a monthly service, varying levels. One of them includes one of these boosted press releases that I was talking about. I guess I could share really quickly, like how results happen. Go ahead.
That's kind of my question.
So for what I'm hearing is you have 2 different sides to the business. You have the SEO, and then you also have a press release. Like, yeah.
Well, so that's a part of the SEO.
Yeah,
we do that for clients who have websites with us. We also do it just as part of the SEO too, if you wish. Yeah.
So you're sending them to get syndicated, or you're actually just
we write the press release, we tag it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we get it syndicated. We get to see it now.
So is there some, as far as results are concerned, is there some minimum that you're attempting to get as far as eyeballs onto the site?
You know, I don't.
Like, how do you
really-
measure?
So how do I measure a press release? I mean, many of these news sites range in visitors for like small local papers, 1,000 views per month, to bigger like Fox News affiliate sites or CNN or whatever, Huffington Post, that have like a domain authority of 90, and they have millions of visitors per month. So judging like impressions, the best way to measure it is in results in the real world in business, not how many eyes get on it.
Right.
So I pulled up this beautiful young lady's website, Amanda White in Murrieta, California. So she came out here and from Dallas, wanted to do eyebrow microblading. And she only had a few clients in like her first several months of operation. I had actually worked with her at that other web design company before she moved to Dallas and went to school for all this. And so she contacted us and said, hey, I'm ready to close up shop and move back and work in my mom's store in Dallas. And we said, hey, let's see what we can do for you. And the first thing was to build her a website. Usually we say it needs to be 15 pages, but we grouped with this site that you can rank a website that has 10 pages. Less than that, it gets even harder. But she benefited from a perfect storm of sort of a newer type of service. I mean, it's been around for a while, but in the Temecula area, not as much. And a complete void of anybody who knew what they were doing from a web design, web development, and SEO perspective. I've got her outranking salons right now. So when she came to us, she had 3 clients over the course of a couple months. By day 30, she was having 3 or 4 consults a week. And now she books out for 2 weeks in advance for just a consult, not even for an actual appointment. So business is booming for her, which is really exciting. And I even got to do like some kitschy hipster, like old school side frame work on it, like and still make it look cool.
Is that both the SEO and the press release?
Yeah. So that's why I got on that path. The press release. We did one press release for her announcing the grand opening of her venue and everything like that. And what I did, because honestly, if I'm being critical of myself, this site is a little keyword stuffed. Because there isn't a lot of competition in the area, I think it's okay for now, but I will probably have to scale it down a little bit on location tags. But knowing that, I knew that in the press release, I could not tag these same locations. And also, furthermore, on the website, I could not add locations further out in her service area without Google saying, no, sorry. So what I did was I did the press release only for those locations, with the exception of her business name, which has the location in it. And within, was it 6 weeks? I think it was more like 30 days, but maybe 6 weeks from that press release, she is now ranking on page 2 for every of those in her locations, without a page on her website that has that tag on it. So that's kind of a big deal. I say a blog is a surefire way to ensure that your business is successful a year from now. The key is that you have to do it every week. A press release is a surefire way to get eyes on your business today, basically. I mean, it takes a week to see it, but it is a fast-acting SEO.
Earlier you mentioned you wanted to target 15-page website. So in that state, are you saying that one-page design, one-page site, which I use a lot for different things that I'm doing, is...
So you can't rank a one-page site, really, as far as Google is concerned. From a sales perspective, long scrolling one-page sites are great, but from a search rankings perspective, they're not.
Quick question: do you just do like if I had a client that wanted to send a press release?
Yeah, we do it as a one-off.
A one-off?
Yeah, just a press release. For the boosted one, it is $849.
And what about the SEO service? Is that a monthly service, or do you just go to my website and see what's like missing?
No, so it's a monthly thing, and we tackle a page at a time every month. do all of the keyword research for your entire site and a projected growth plan for if you have any plans to expand into other services or products or areas. We do that on the front end. It takes a long time, and we're banking on the fact that we're going to be able to get you those results in 90 days to 120 days, and that you're going to stay with us for a long time.
So my site, I have a, what I guess considered a template site, it's kind of geared towards photographers or something like that. So I can only do so much SEO on their back end, basically.
Sure.
You can do meta descriptions and obviously your content page. But then my blog is a WordPress, and so it's connected. So the more I blog, does that help?
That'll
my
help.
normal
And
site?
if you don't have Yoast installed on your WordPress blog,
Yeah.
yeah, their guidelines are pretty decent. And then a good SEO, it won't matter what platform it's on, they'll be able to go in and do the things that the graphical interface cannot do from a technical perspective.
Okay.
Yeah. But honestly, most of this happens in those meta descriptions, titles, and actual copy for your site.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I'm updating my blog on like a weekly basis or something, so it's going to help my normal website rank.
Correct. Yeah. As long as it's attached to that domain. Exactly. If it's on a separate domain name, yeah.
Yeah, it's attached to it. So it's basically, yeah, it's very good photography/blog.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's going to help your domain authority. And every blog post, 400 to 600 words. And 3 main keywords. One the chief keyword you want the article to rank on.
Okay.
Oh, and this as seen on here. So when you do a press release, you can include these. It doesn't really do anything for SEO, but for certain businesses, it looks attractive and makes people go, oh, they're a big deal. Yeah. So, but you can't just throw that on your website. You have to do like a press release and get your article picked up. Otherwise, they will come after you. Yeah. Oh, they will. This as seen on banner. If you don't do a press release and you just start throwing news logos on your website, they will come after you.
Okay.
Promise. Sure. What about good things? Oh yeah. So I'll do an in-depth homepage audit for everyone who attended today. That's we value it at about $500. I take quite a bit of time to look through it, and then in about a 15 to 30 minute call, we go over all of it. And then also I have 2 time-sensitive discount codes for my SEO services at the 2nd and 3rd tier levels. One is $25 off, or is it 50? 25, I think. 25 and 75.
Let's say lower, and then if it's higher, that's great.
All right, so I think it's 25 and 75 off on the 2nd and the 3rd tier, respectively. The 3rd tier includes boosted press release, and as a standalone is $849 in and of itself. And those are valid until Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So I'll get those to you. Yeah.
I'll get that.
I will give them to all of you at the end of this.
You said the first one was you look at the homepage or something?
Yeah, that'll just do if you send me an email. I'll take care of that and set up a time to do that. As far as what we do from SEO, the general pricing is $99, $4.99, and $9.99 per month. That 25 is valid on the $4.99 and the 75 on the $9.99. I love the 99 one because I don't actually do any work beyond the research. I just deliver you a report and tell you exactly what to do. But there is definitely benefit to having somebody who knows code go into your site and do it properly. So that starts at the $4.99 level. All right. Any other questions?
That was awesome.
That's great. Cool.
Thank you.
Isn't that great? Yes. All right, so this is the fun part where we actually take action. So this is where everybody utilizes their sheets. and we decide one action that we're going to take based on the presentation. I think we need some back there as well.
Oh, she starts to take notes.
I know, right? I always know when it's a good presentation when people won't stop asking questions. I'm like, that was really wonderful. So I'll actually start by modeling because we're going to share together, and we're memorializing this for the World Wide Web, so it's going to hold you accountable. So I would just like to say, as the founder of the Conscious Business Chamber, I am going to utilize the boosted press releases. I think that's a fabulous value add for people that sign up for sponsorships. We really want to create a lot of value for people that sponsor the Conscious Business Chamber in a lot of different ways, but announcing their commitment as a sponsor or at the donor level, and then sending out a press release that really showcases them and helps them with SEO at the same time, as well as the chamber. I think that's a really smart move, just a really nice way of showing appreciation. So that also ties into my offer that I would like all of you to join the Conscious Business Chamber. I know many of you have already, and I'm so grateful because I do intend to provide a lot of incredible value, including offering this event at no charge to chamber members and offering speaking positions to chamber members. So that's my offer to all of you. You can go to consciousbusinesschamberofcommerce.com to sign up. It's only $9.99 if you join right now because we are in the startup phase. And there's other tiers available, including donor level and sponsorship level. You can talk to me about that because I want to make it worth your while if you join at those levels. All right? So I'm going to give you 30 more seconds to finish your actions. And then we're going to really quickly go through them. And I'm really going to enforce the 20-second rule because we're so over. And Tracy, before you go, can you just announce your event really quickly while they're wrapping up?
Absolutely. Thank
Come on
you. Oh, come on up. Excellent.
So Tracy's one of our new event leaders. So I want to give her some visibility.
Thank you. So real quick, for all of you networkers, I am leading a open networking event tomorrow night in Del Mar at Hotel Indigo. And it is going to be from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And it'll be just incredible connections, experts there from all categories. And all of you in the room are experts at what you do. So I'm really going to be encouraging people to have an offer and to really come with what is that referral partner that you're looking to connect with, because it could be in the room, so everybody can have more success. So it is on my Facebook. It's Tracy Hasse, Tracie, and my last name is Hasse, Hasse. But would love to have you. It's free, it's complimentary, it's going to rock, and it's going to be the last Thursday of every month. So if you're able to come, join us. Thank you. And Sarah Ann will be there. She's going to be there. And we're going to be showcasing some things she's doing as well. So, and some guided networking training. So it's going to be a ton of fun. Bring your friends.
Thank you. And Hotel Indigo is so cool.
It's awesome.
I love
It's like
that
a mini
place.
LaBerge.
I know. I love it.
Yeah.
Sarah, I pulled up what all the sponsorship offers that I was offering are.
Oh,
So there you have it.
well done. We're looking for those $10,000 sponsorships right now. The sooner we get sponsorships, the sooner I can provide more value for everybody. So who's ready? Let's do it real quickly. Doesn't have to be perfect. Come on up. Say your action. All right, Cornelius, you go.
Yes.
20 seconds. I'm going to hold you to it.
I got 15.
All right.
Seconds. Thank you, Patrick, for the information on the website. So my 2 actions for the day is to remove scrolling hero banner, easy for me to do, and create 1 blog post a week. So I'll start by doing a content calendar for the month of November, and then I'll start implementing.
All right. Who's next? Anybody with actions? Just claim an action that I'm going to.
1 blog post. 1 blog post.
So 1 blog post. Very good.
Per week.
Anybody else have any ideas? Call him. You're going to call Patrick?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Anybody else? I know you have something.
Blog post, Facebook, and their website. I'll be contacting you.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. one small action at a time, you know?
I'm going to try to resurrect my blog from the dead now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, it's a lot to do, right? But it's so important.
Yeah, it needs to play over. I know the notes.
I know he's going to be busy after this talk.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So I want to thank you so much for coming. I really encourage you to spread the word on all of your social media outlets about what we did today. We will be back here in 2 weeks. Rima's going to give an amazing talk. I heard her speak a couple weeks ago, and it was incredible. And then we will be back on the 22nd for another event. And I just really thank you all for coming. Thank you. Yes, and turn those in. Yes, nice to meet you as well.